lot of people in relationships do that. The little things that bother you, if it's a constant tick, like every day and it's really eating away at you, I would say write about it or talk to yourself about it first before you present it to your partner.
Mm-hmm.
So you can at least know exactly what you're talking about and it's not coming out like an explosion. And you're precise and you actually know what's going on. Because a lot of times it comes from, you have no idea where it comes from a lot of times because you leave it in a fog for so long. Yeah. What is it? I like that you said approach the conversations with love when you said that. You do. You need to approach it with love, especially as a man and you are approaching your woman. You approach that with love. You approach that with love. If you want to go back to the animalistic side of it or the primitive side, men and women, like as men, we need to approach those conversations with love. I don't like approaching conversations with dominance.
Mm-hmm.
It does nothing. It does nothing.
Mm-hmm.
At that point, you are kind of spiritually beating on somebody or just taking over because you're the bigger, stronger person. But yeah, approach it with love.
Right.
Approach it with love.
Yeah, and I'd like to piggyback a little bit off that because you brought up the primitive side of human beings, which is going to tie into this next point that I think you're going to need to have in order to have these tough conversations. So all of us as human beings, we have a primitive part of our brain that will never escape. It will never leave, right? We'll just call it literally the primitive brain, right? There's a book. It's got it in there, whatever.
Please recommend it. Sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
The book is The Twin Thieves. So The Twin Thieves has this whole section about the primitive brain and about how humans are creatures of habit. So with that being said, you're going to have a whole lot of patience with that individual to have these tough conversations because at the end of the day, we're creatures of habit. It takes a long time to break a habit. So with that being said, if there is a reoccurring issue or just an issue in general that you've already talked about once, you're going to talk about it again at some point in time. It's inevitable because we are creatures of habit. If I see my significant other doing a certain action and it set me off the first time and we talk about it, it's probably going to set me off again because I'm a creature of habit. I habitually have that reaction to whatever that action was. It's just the primitive part of our brain. So at the end of the day, you have to have a lot of patience with that other individual, and that individual has to have a lot of patience with you. And you both need to understand that. So having that understanding of patience, because we are animals, we are creatures of habit, is huge. It's big time to have these tough conversations.
Let that one sink in. Yeah, I like that. We are animals. We're animals, and trying to understand each other and listening to each other and communicating. That's why it's so needed. Communication is key. Learning those, I like it. Learning those primitive sides of each other too.
Yeah,
because people always say men are this way, women are this way. Okay, cool. All right. Yeah. So how do we keep this going? How do we grow? How do we keep going? And I like realizing the side. I think light, dark, shadow, however you want to call it. Incorporating all those sides and then knowing the side of you that, as a man, which we have a baseline of things that we all do, good or bad, knowing those sides and then knowing when that side is coming up and knowing that it's primitive and knowing when to stop it. Knowing when to stop it. And I think that can help a relationship out humongously. I don't even like humongously. Tremendously. A weak word, humongously. Sorry. But yeah, tackling those hard conversations and realizing that as primitive animals, we're going to be that way. I like that a lot. Realizing that that's how we are. Now, how do we figure this out? How do we communicate? And I think it's fun learning how we are, learning how the opposite sex is, and how their primitive side as animals, and learning us. Like I think it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, I was going to say,
go a long way, and you can gel together to become like two great animals together, if you want to say that. But yeah, no, you were saying something. Go ahead.
No, I was just agreeing with you. It keeps life interesting. Things get really, really boring when everything just works perfectly.
It does.
Like it's almost disturbing. You come home and you know everything's gonna be awesome. Like it's kind of, in my opinion, I genuinely I don't think I would like that life. Like I don't think I'd like coming home and being like, man, everything's perfect. I know exactly what you're gonna do, when you're gonna do it, when you're gonna say it. No. Like I love coming home and not having any idea if my little girl's gonna be freaking out, if my significant other is gonna be angry at me. Like, no, I'm excited. Like I'm gonna come through this door. I don't know what's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out.
Let's figure it out.
Yeah.
And that's a state of growth.
Yeah.
Yeah. Always in a state of growth too. Figuring those out. Okay. We have this going on. We know that we're gonna figure it out because we know how we communicate.
Yeah.
All right, this is happening. All right, cool. Let's figure this out and we're gonna communicate through it and we're gonna grow from it. And I think that's very important. Always having those tough conversations. Always. I think you need to talk to your partners a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot. And even couples that bicker and whatnot, you guys figure it out. You guys communicate, and for every time you do that, if you do it correctly, there's growth after it. Like, oh, that wasn't so tough.
No.
Yeah, that wasn't so tough. Go ahead.
I do want to note, though, obviously, if a relationship, everything is great all the time, that definitely can be weird. But I also hate, that's a strong word, but I really do hate those people that start shit just to start shit.
That's different.
Yeah,
that's different. That's different.
Yeah, no, I don't want to walk
but
through the
when
door.
you walk into the door
yeah.
and it's like, for me personally, I already have so much stress in my life, man. Like as it is, I've got, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
No,
I don't
feel
need
you,
to
I
be
feel you, I feel you.
arguing with anyone, my friend, my significant other, about petty things that aren't making us or our relationship better. It's not really a deep conversation. It's more maybe just a reaction from them on because their day wasn't good.
Yeah,
Those
that's
type
what
of
it
things.
is.
That
Self-awareness.
yes, I just cannot stand that because it's like again, you're supposed to be my rock. I'm supposed to be your rock. We're supposed to be there for each other. If you want to go and start something, I like that isn't making us better, and you're doing it because your day wasn't good. Like no, I'm not having that. I've got too much to worry about throughout the day to then have to come home to that, or then to have to pick up the phone to talk to my buddy about that. Those. Oh,
Yeah, that's different. Come home, starting stuff for no reason. That's different. Yeah.
I know it's different. I just wanted to mention
I
that
like
though.
that.
You gave a perfect scenario for a deep conversation situation.
Yes, and a tough conversation.
Yeah. That could be a very good deep conversation. Hey, sitting down and then having to say, this is the fourth time that this has happened. I've come home.
Yeah.
Or, hey, you're calling me again because of whatever. Like, dude, this needs to stop. We need to figure out what's going on. Like,
Yeah.
If you want to call and talk and tell me how your day sucked, then do that. But don't take it out on me.
Are we gonna do this every day again?
Yeah,
and again,
come on, really?
And again,
Yeah.
and again? All right, we need to talk.
Yeah.
We need a safe space to speak.
Yeah.
And that goes for friends too.
No, 100%.
That goes for friends too.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, continue, man. I like that.
Yeah, that was incredible. Yeah, walk through the door.
I like that side note.
Well, because if things are good, like, maybe, I guess, I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit, I guess I'm going against the grain here a little bit, but if things are going really good, like, I'm happy, man, that's good, so I guess, to your point, like, if everything is perfect and amazing and you know what everything's gonna happen. Like, yeah, that's a little much.
There's a difference within that, though.
Yeah. I think
perfect and amazing. No, I'm sorry to interrupt you, dude.
No, yeah.
Please keep that point.
Yeah.
But when you say everything's going great, everything in a relationship, everything can be going great, even if you have arguments. But you're figuring that out. Things are still going great.
Yeah.
If you have a confrontation or you're bickering and whatnot, and you're figuring it out and you're communicating, you're growing from that, that means things are going fantastic.
Right. Okay.
That just means things
see
are
your
really
point.
going
Yeah. So that's exactly what he said.
Yeah.
Exactly what he said. My thing where it would get weird is when like everything becomes super predictable.
Yeah, I gotcha.
And it's good to know your partner in a sense of like you understand their mannerisms.
Yeah.
But when you know exactly what they're going to say and you know exactly what's going to be done, all of that just takes like the romance out of the relationship. Because I mean, like we can all kind of interpret where I could go with the romantic part of it. Like you step in the door and you know play by play, word for word, exactly what's going to go down in this perfect relationship, you know, this perfect world.
Yeah.
Like there's got to
give me
be some
ick.
unpredictability in a relationship
Yeah.
in order to
Keep that spark.
keep
that
it.
fire.
Yeah. Keep the fire, keep the spark, keep it going,
Yeah.
keep it moving.
That goes with keeping your independence as well in your relationship. A lot of people say we become one. Not for me. We're still two separate people that do two separate things.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're still growing human beings. Like the relationship isn't 50-50, it's 100-100. You're still a person, I'm still a person. You're still a woman, I'm still a man.
Yeah.
I
You
like my
this,
hobby.
I
Yeah,
like that.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that's okay. I
Yeah.
find that very okay, and I find that needed. I'm gonna go hang with my friends. Oh, you're gonna hang with your friends? Cool, good. Things like that. Yeah, keeping that a little bit of that freedom and your independence and being okay with it.
Yeah.
A lot of people think you have to do every single little thing you have to do together. Like, no, you need your time with your friends. You need your time outside of the home. Like, you need your time.
Yeah.
You still need to grow as a person, as a human being. You still need to grow. Not everything has, like you said, predictable on time. This, that, and things become very meaningless and mundane.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a strong point.
Yeah.
How do you
And that's from
guys...
me. Sorry.
No, you're good. Go ahead.
I've learned that from past relationships and seeing and growing. Like, okay, when I get in a relationship, this needs to be different. Yeah, but what were you gonna say? Sorry about that.
Oh, I was just gonna ask. I don't know if you guys ever answered. Like, how do you guys go about having those deep conversations? Like, what are some of the things you start by saying? You know, is there just, do people kind of sense that you're in a different mood? How do you?
When I
go
have it
about that?
with other people, like, hey, we need to talk, or hey, can we talk about this real quick? It's so depending on the person, I approach it very differently, but I always kind of front load it in a way to bring that person in towards that conversation. Like, I always front load it so I can approach it with love every time. Any hard conversation or difficult conversation, I approach it with love. You know that I love you, and you know that I'm not out here just trying to attack you or just shooting shots. I'm not doing that. I approach it all with love every single.
Is that what you mean by front load?
Yeah,
Okay.
I approach it with love. I bring them into the conversation.
Yeah.
I don't just go out and fire off.
Yeah, you let them know, hey, like I'm not having this conversation just because I want to start something. You're here to have this conversation because it's something that's bothering me, but just know that at the end of the day, I still love you. I just want to have this conversation and let's talk about it like mature adults that we are, right?
Yeah. Hey, like even to my brother, like, hey, I love you, man. Can we talk real quick? Take a deep breath and sit down and all right. As hard as it is to start that conversation off, I just I let it go because I know I can't just hold it inside or try to find a perfect way to bring it up. No, but I approach it with love and I make sure I'm not elevated in no type of way. I make sure my tone is on check and everything.
Yeah,
and I make sure I talk to myself beforehand and know everything that I'm going to say and all the points that I want to make. And I'm not a person that likes it to be just raw, if we want to say all the time, but me being at a place where I know how the conversations are supposed to go, now some days that I can actually approach it raw because I know it's all coming from love. And I know I already checked my tone, it's all here. Okay, I slow the whole conversation down.
Yeah.
Take some deep breaths and I talk slow and I make the points I need to. I don't just sit there and just try to talk too fast. You're always going to fumble over your words or something's going to come out that you don't want to come out.
I like that, the point that you made about how before the conversation, you make sure you run it by yourself first, is make sure you have all the points, you know, all your ducks in a row, the things that you want to say, because that's important. Because those conversations can tend to kind of go off tangent at times, and it's important to have those points in the back of your head so that, you know, when that conversation does kind of start drifting, you can kind of pull it back in with your next point and whatnot. So I like that. That's important.
Yeah, I do that. So I like to do that so I don't fire off and I don't say the wrong thing to that person. I'm not out here trying to hurt your feelings. I'm out here trying to be honest with you, and I'm trying to put more love and put more effort into this relationship. And that's with all my friends and family. Every time, hey, I'm trying to develop our relationship. I'm trying to make it more meaningful. So these tough conversations, we have to have them. We have to be able to talk about them, and we have to be okay with it, and don't take it personal. Don't take it personal. That's one of the biggest things I could walk away with. Don't take it personal. Yeah. It's a good one.
What about you, DJ?
Dude, honestly, I'm at a point where tough conversations just genuinely aren't tough conversations. Like it's just to the point of like,
Has to happen.
yeah, you know, like I feel as an individual, I'm genuine enough. I'm coming from a good enough place to where I shouldn't feel uncomfortable talking to you about this. Like if I feel a certain way, I just want to let you know, talk to you about it, go from there. And genuinely, after I share what I shared, the ball is now in your court, in my mind, in my opinion.
Yep.
If I told you, if you come at me after what I just said, and you say, I feel like you were attacking me, and I say, I apologize, I'm sorry, my intentions were not to attack you, the ball is now all completely in your court.
Right.
Like it's no longer on me. I very clearly let you know that is not what I was trying to do. I'm sorry I made you feel that way.
Yeah.
I can do better next time to make you not feel that way.
Right.
But I'm telling you very directly and clearly, it's not what